What's up, ladies, gentlemen, and special stuff with the internet? This is Dan, and I wanted to talk something a little more personal. See, normally when I do these videos, these reactions, these vlogs, what have you, I'm largely talking about things outside, reacting. But I kind of wanted to touch on something, again, personal, something you don't normally do. I guess my thoughts are personal if you think about it that way, but something a little bit more autobiographical. So when I was younger, I was a conspiracy theorist. I really was. I mean, not to the extent some people are, like the flat earthers, but I did kind of start to buy into some of these really wild claims. You see, when I was in high school, I had a teacher's assistant who was really into this kind of stuff, and he started a club about that stuff. No, there's no, like, when I got molested, I got anally probed kind of. No, it was that I was very gullible. I like to believe in these, but in fact, my thoughts, of being, what's it called, sort of convinced by the crowd, common knowledge says this, or being influenced by crowds, being a lot more collectivist was something that happened with me. But later on, I became a little more skeptical. My father actually, I gotta thank him for that, because like at one point I thought, the UFOs, blah, blah, blah. The Stonehenge was assembled by people with telekinesis. And my dad went, well, if humanity had telekinesis, then why is it gone? What would select for that trade out? And I'm like, that's actually a good point. Later on, I started looking at stuff like history and a lot more. I gotta admit, I'm a huge space nerd, and later on, I started seeing stuff like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, the fact that we could build the ancient people could build these things, and people think we didn't build it. That's impressive in architecture, and I'm like, that's actually a very interesting idea. And then I realized, hey, maybe these guys do have some ideas, right? But maybe they're just going, and then aliens, and then, and the government doesn't want to, and the archaeological community and Egyptology or whatever, because I remember seeing films like that, seeing the whole, what was the one, the alien autopsy video? Yeah, I saw that. But I grew up, I learned that all that stuff is, it's fake. People want to make money. And people do crazy stuff. For instance, like things like alien abductions. There's studies that say it could be sleep paralysis. A lot of people who suffer from sleep paralysis feel a presence when they're paralyzed. You're kind of stuck in between. I've experienced sleep paralysis. Not the whole thing where you wake up and you think there's a dark figure or there's creatures coming, but where I'm really feel like I'm being stuck. I freak out because I can't move my body. My mind suddenly comes awake, but I can't move my body. I feel like I'm gasping for air. So I did that. So now I go, okay, see, that makes sense. See, this makes sense. That's a much easier explanation, and it makes a lot more sense. But then they get people going, no, man, blah, 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 blah. You should understand, man. I was never a 9/11 truther. That was one thing I was so lucky I avoided, and partially because I understood stuff like how, Einstein's law E equals mc squared. The fact that or more like its lesser earlier counterpart, FUMA, force equals mass times acceleration. The amount of energy you get is equal to the speed it's going at times its mass. So I'm like, Oh, so there's certain things I was inoculated against, but again, I was kind of, the funny part is, like, people, I think it's because of that. I think partially what helped me later on is, when I was told this stuff, I was also very much a very, not, I wouldn't say hardcore Christian, but I was devout, but not like, abortion's evil kind of thing. But I was like, God, Jesus, all that stuff. But I think because my dad's like, hey, if you're going to, my dad's still Catholic, by the way, but he's like, hey, if you're going to go claim something, make sure you research it, get your facts straight, know what people are saying. And that's what, again, led me into skepticism and led me to become an atheist. It's actually, it's been quite an interesting journey. And because of that, I think that's why anytime I see people trying to push these crazy things, I either laugh at them or I get angry because I'm like, what you're doing is very harmful. What you're potentially doing is harmful to humanity. Not even like, like Alex Jones supplements that have lead in them, but that's fucked up. But I'm talking about people who are like anti-vaxxers who hurt their kids because they believe that we're somehow, that, see, I think that they have a conspiracy theory in their mind that it's any of the autism and the government. I think some of them are like that. They're like, oh, the government's trying to make more autistic people. I'm like, why? Why would they want to pay more money? And that's the thing that got me. When I started thinking, wait, what is the motivation behind this idea? Why would you want to do these things? What's the motivation? I mean, like UFO people, governments. I'm like, wouldn't they want people to know more? That way humans like, oh, well, this is normal. Maybe inch it out. Or maybe even say, hey, it could happen. But that's the problem, conspiracy. Anyway, I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Anyway, like this video, subscribe if you're interested, and leave a comment. I'm Dan. You stay beautiful and peace out.